Welcome to third downs and touchdowns for the Miami Dolphins. Just a little post-game, obviously post-game review. The focus will be specifically, as I've mentioned, third downs and touchdowns, but you'll always see the first drive, the first play of the first drive as well. So we joined Miami on their first third down after our first turnover from the Chiefs. It's 3rd and 4. Let's see what we're going to do. So in this screenshot, we see our formation is left near. The Y, the tight end, is on the left. Gesicki is aligned beside Jackson. Hence the strength is on the left. And the near aspect comes from it because Laird is aligned on the left-hand side of the line to the strength of the blocking. And here we see what the offense looks like after the motion. It would be now described to me as left hip. Because Bowden, who is the ex-receiver, is lined up on the hip of the Y, who's Gesicki. No change to Parker and Grant. But if we look left to right, Bowden has what I would describe as a bender. It's not quite a crossing route, but he sort of bends across the field to where the first down is. Y Gesicki is literally just going to delay and run into the flats. It's worth noting when we come to coach's film that he takes the outside linebacker and the safety with him, so he's effectively being double covered. F. Parker just has a good old-fashioned slant out, but unlike previous weeks, he does break it past the first down marker. Grant is going to use his speed and run a good old-fashioned 9 or go route, which we spoke about in the last third down touchdowns, and takes and runs off the corner. Offense versus defense is really a game of cat and mouse. To start, I want you to look at the two linebackers, the Jack, who we mentioned in the last third down and touchdowns, and 56, both off the line initially. You can't see the safety in this clip, but they don't finish there. And also how offense then motions Bowden in to try and get a better release. So let's just watch that through. You can see the linebackers walking down. Then Bowden is going to release a motion to the hip position we've spoken about a moment ago. Now we're going to look at Tua's throw. He can see all of this space back here. Remember on the previous third down touchdowns, we spoke about Carreras not reading it. Well, in this time Tua has read it. And as we see, Bowden's going to have to fight through traffic, which 21 has just bumped him there. So if you take that back slightly and just run it, it's going to be worth seeing it. 21 motions in with Bowden Jr. It's a clean motion. Now, as he releases, see he's going to bump and play Bowden, which he's entitled to do by law, but I think that puts the timing off the throw off. I think Tua wants to throw that much earlier. Grant at the top has the fade or the go route, which clears out this corner perfectly. Here, Parker, now this space is clear, Parker has the outbreaking route, the slant, and it works for us because this corner does not want to get beat deep. He's playing square. Remember, we only need 4 yards. So is Parker going to run a shallow cross, or is he going to break out, or is he actually going to run a seam? As we'll see when we play it through, Parker drives him off the line, and now he's going to get separation. Unfortunately, you can see Tua has already delivered the ball to Bowden. I believe this is because it's a play-action pass, not an RPO. And the play action has opened up Tua to his left, which means that if he wanted to throw it here, he'd have to turn and throw it. Not a difficult throw for an NFL quarterback, but this is either a scheme issue or Tua made his mind up to go here before the ball was snapped. Okay, our first look at the box. As you can see, we've got 5 offensive linemen versus 5 defensive linemen. I've put Gesicki in a big red box. He's covered by the linebacker number 55 and by the safety number 32. Now, whilst it's play action pass, I think what we've done is cleverly disguised full slide pass protection. By full slide, I mean that everyone is responsible for the next gap down. Therefore, the whole line is moving. So in this instance, the whole line is moving to the offensive right or the defensive left as we're looking at this slide. But just to finish on one very positive point, we wonder why Gesicki sometimes disappears from games. In this instance, it's a third down. They haven't double covered Parker, they're double covering Gesicki. And I think it's a real credit to him as a player that his stats are as good as they are so far this season. We know it's a play action pass. We're unsure of the pass protection until the linebackers 56 and the jack walk down. Now, I believe this is what they call full slide pass protection. In this instance, it'd be full slide to the offensive right, which means that Jackson essentially takes the next gap down, 95. Solomon Kindly would take his gap, head either 40, this gap here, the A gap, or head up to 49. Carreras takes 56. Davies takes 98. And the tackle Hunt takes 92. So we're all moving down one gap. It's full slide. As we run it through, we can see it works perfectly. Two motions in Bowden Jr. We're set pass protection. I want to give praise to two of our rookies here. Jackson has to make that block. If he doesn't, 95 has got full visibility of what's happening here. It's not going to end well for Tua. But what I specifically want to do is talk about Kindly. I wish he had his head up there going into contact, but Sorensen is a 7-year veteran who's got a Super Bowl ring. Now let's just take a little bit of time to watch Kindly drive him. He's still driving. This is amazing. Look, I'm stealing your lunch money here, mate. You're done. This is a great job by the offensive line, and it gives me hope that moving forward, we're going to be fine as an organisation.